Welcome to the Batesville City Council, moving our city forward. Mayor Rick Ellenball, City Clerk Denise Johnson, City Attorney Tim Meitzen, and your council members from left to right, Paige Hubbard, Landon Reeves, Scott Fredericks, Brittany Bennett, and from right to left, Fred Krug, Julie Hinkle, Chris Poole, and Rob Roberts. Welcome you to the meeting.
5:30, I'd like to call the meeting to order. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Nick Baxter to lead us in open prayer.
Well, if you will, let us pray. Holy Father God, I lift the City Council and all that are here to you for discernment and wisdom. I pray for your people to be able to worship and live in peace. I pray for those who serve on this council and those who serve to protect our homes, as well as all the people that are around the world. I pray for those, our local police, fire, ambulance services, as well as those who serve to work for clean water and clean streets. And I'm thankful for the wonderful people I've been able privileged to work with all through the years. In the name of Jesus, the reason for this season, I pray amen.
Okay, Ms. Davis, would you please verify the roll?
Ms. Bennett? Here. Mr. Fredericks?
Here.
Ms. Hinkle?
Here.
Mr. Krug?
He's here.
He's here.
Thank you,
Mr. Reeves?
Here.
Mr. Roberts? Here.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
So moved. Second.
Motion to second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Okay, is there a motion to approve the prepared agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second. Okay, who made the motion on that?
Julie.
Julie, okay.
It's on machine.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay, next on the agenda is citizens' comments, and the comments should be no longer than 3 minutes in length and must pertain to city business. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council?
Every time.
Not, we'll go ahead and move forward, and we don't have any unfinished business, so we'll go right into new business. And Police Chief Mr. John Scarborough, come forward with your monthly report.
I hope everyone got the report emailed to you, and I'll put it easier.
Yeah.
As stated in the report, it was up 131 calls for service this month. We were down 12 accidents, which was good for us. We had 14 more arrests, and then, of course, we had 14 more incident reports, 14 arrests. We finally finished all the computer installations in the vehicle, so everything is up and running. There's one more program, the remote dispatch, where the dispatchers can send messages to the officers. That's not completely working yet, but it's something to do in the IT world that I'm not smart enough to explain because I don't know. But I know they were working on it today, and they remoted in, and some of the officers got to play with it a little bit and was really excited about getting the new system. As far as the citations going to the court system, that's all working. Everything's working well on that. I think the courts are happier now that they don't have to come in there and pick up tickets every week. We applied for the Arkansas Public Safety Grant again this year. Again, for the second or third year in a row, we didn't get anything. So we tried. That's really all that I have. I know that Councilman Roberts has a question.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have one question. No, it's great to hear that we finally, we got the last computer installed, so I know
They're
it's
all
going
installed, everything's up and running.
great. Do you think, is it possible in 2025 to get a report each month just showing speeding warnings as well as speeding tickets? Is that something, I know that we talked that can't be incorporated in our existing report, but is it possible to get a separate report? Or maybe
No,
I
it
misunderstood.
can be, it's on the same system.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason you haven't got it for this month is because I was waiting for the first of the year, so we have a full month.
Sure, makes sense.
So yes,
Good.
that's in the plans.
Good deal.
Okay. Any other questions for Chief?
And
Yeah, one other thing, I know
one thing
you,
I asked you guys, I'd like to see if you guys would consider us using an alcohol tax for the stuff that I put in the email. We really want to do this accreditation program. We can't do it without the one system that we have to have, the Power DMS. The big expense to that is that Power DMS and the Cellbrite, which is the item we use to download the phones. And anymore, we can't do a criminal investigation thoroughly without having that equipment. And we was awarded on a grant another system, but the technology has surpassed it. It's pretty much not working like it used to now. We had it for about 3 or 4 years, but as fast as technology goes, it's surpassed us.
And this was out of the alcohol tax, and I think there's funding. Didn't we say it's around 45,000 to get?
Yeah, it's going to be roughly around 47,000. We think the one problem I've had is the LPRs, the quote for it. I haven't been able to get it. There were some issues since they were awarded to us. One was a door prize, and the other they sent to us. Something to do with serial numbers and that company. They're trying to figure out what it would cost us, and I still don't have it. We're figuring $7,500 because it's supposed to be $2,500 per unit per year, but I don't have a quote to get exact numbers.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion on that?
Yes.
Well, being so I've contributed to the alcohol tax, I like to make a motion that we do what John's asking.
I would second that.
Have a motion from Mr. Krug and a second from Mr. Roberts. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay.
Hey, what's the status on the reflective vest?
Okay, they are in. Rock has them. Rock's going to do some stuff for them. We paid for them yesterday. Should have them back to us next week if they can get them finished. We did get some brought to us last week. The guys on night shift should have some that they're using now, but the ones that we've actually purchased should all, the holidays kind of slow it down.
Right.
But hopefully it'll either be this week or next week or the week after that they'll have the ones that we've actually purchased.
Okay.
We also did purchase, and I meant to send this to you guys, but we purchased a little deal that sits on their shoulder. I wish I had one here to show you, but it flashes a beacon light, has a little flashlight stuff on it, so we went ahead and bought that as well. So just added their safety.
Good.
Good.
Very good purchase. So
Good.
just make sure we encourage those officers to wear those
Yeah, that was.
day and night, just not in the evening.
Right,
Because
Captain Fryer and I, that, we've already got a new policy for that. We can't implement it until they actually have the equipment, so.
Very good.
That's in the plans.
Okay, very good. Safety first.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, next on the agenda is Economic Development A&P Commission updates from our CEO of the Chamber, Ms. Crystal Johnson. So,
What about Damon?
I just skipped Damon,
you
but
skip
Crystal,
Damon?
you're already there. Crystal, you're already there, so.
It's a family affair.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll have Damon to jump up there next. I guess I'd already X'd Damon out when I was going down through there, but we have some momentum going here, so keep.
Kathy and I'll just give his report while we're up here.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm on, no, I'm not on. Well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was just about our commissioners, and wanted to give Kathy an opportunity to be recognized for her work on the Advertising and Promotion Commission. She served an 8-year term as our chair, was one of the original founders of the program. Kathy had a ton of vision to add to our strategy as we were getting the program off the ground. She's been around to see it really thrive. So just wanted to give the opportunity for Kathy to be recognized.
Absolutely.
And then Haley Stevens is also one of our commissioners. She's also served an 8-year term as our secretary. So if she walks in later, we'll give hers a round of applause. Okay, let's give our advertising and promotion update while we are here. This is a slide of some of our social media marketing. And I looked back through to my last presentation when we thought we really had it figured out on our ad spend. We were spending about $1 and getting about a $40 return. And we thought we were really had cracked the code. But as we kind of continue with our strategy, now we're seeing about $100 ad spend per $1 invested. So as you know, we have new tools that provide us with data so we can track our ad placement. We can track where an ad is seen and follow that person and see if they ever make it to Batesville. So that's how we review and use our data. Of course, we're in Christmas capital Arkansas time right now, and our data is 3 weeks delayed, but I have info on traffic counts for the opening weekend. Right now it looks like we're up about 7%, which is pretty good on a rainy weekend, so we'll continue to track our visitors. We do that with cell phone data, that's why it's just a little bit late. But after the holiday season, we can come back and give a full report on our travelers in comparison to years past, but I believe it's still going up. We have a new tool, the Experience Builder app. This is kind of a long-term opportunity. I know that we won't have just a ton of early adopters, but this is an app that our visitors can use to download. It has all of our information about our restaurants, things to see and do, places to shop, places to stay, experiences. They can build an itinerary for the day and with a map. So that's kind of a cool new tool that we have.
Did that replace that other one we had?
I'm sorry.
Did that replace that
That's
other?
our last one.
Now, where's that at?
That you can download it.
Okay.
I'll show you how. You love it, Fred. Then wanted to talk about our lodging tax collections. In comparison, you can see we're down about 18% from 23. There are a couple of reasons for that. One, as you know, the Dells Corp purchased the Ramada. So they, with the long-term stay, they're not required to pay the 3% lodging tax. So that immediately made a significant impact. And then also we have new owners of the Super 8. They have not paid their tax since May 11th. Tim and I have been working on getting in touch with the new ownership and figuring out a path to move forward. So we're hoping to get that cleared up soon. So as you know, especially with Ramada coming offline, we're in a hotel crisis. We don't have enough hotel rooms to meet our demand. So the A&P Commission has invested in a retail strategy group to help us with recruitment of hotel and any other supporting tourism industry, so restaurant and retail. So there's a report provided to you. You don't have to go through the detail. I just wanted to give you an update on the quarterly restaurant recruitment strategy. Things have been really slow. We're hoping to see, our consultants are telling us that after the first of the year, we should see another big peak in interest. We had tons of interest at the beginning of last year, then everything kind of just dropped off, but interest rates and all the things. So, moving on, do y'all have any questions about advertising and promotion? Any details, anything that I didn't cover that you want to know about? Okay.
And A&P, I guess most people understand, is just for hotels.
Yes,
It's
that
just for
is-
hotels. We do not have any A&P on restaurants like several cities do. Is that correct, Crystal?
That's right.
Okay.
Could that lodging tax be amended to include weekly rentals or no?
To include what?
Weekly rentals?
Rentals. It could. We do, collect the lodging tax on our Airbnb, VRBO. So that's a good question. You mean to wrap it?
Well, I'm just saying, what
Regular
makes them exempt? Because they're
The-
weekly rentals?
They're not weekly.
They're
They're
not
not? Oh, they're not.
They're monthly.
They're monthly.
Yeah. They've turned them into apartments.
Ah, okay.
Efficiency apartments,
Okay.
around $770 a month.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well, that's,
Good question.
okay.
Yeah, I'd love to charge them the 3% tax. Let me, I know Mayor told me I only had an hour, so let me try to figure out what we
No,
want to talk about.
Yeah.
Total
Just.
meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Really fast then. So as far as economic, we'll kind of shift from advertising and promotion to economic development. We have 3 kind of priority projects right now, in addition to our normal work. So those 3 things, and you'll start to hear about this a lot over 2025, but our new workforce strategy that we are developing, our housing study, which we'll talk about in just a second, and then site selection. So those are our 3 big economic development priorities for 2025. Our Work Wired program, like I said, we're just starting to develop a strategy. We're working with UACCB and our 4 school districts in Independence County to develop a strategy where we can provide, we can say with confidence that we can provide access to a living wage for our community members. You might say, why is that important? Other than the fact that a lot of our community members are living in poverty, by increasing the living wage, that increases their spending, really helps our community be more stable, and also helps with attention and retraction of talent. So it's a pretty robust strategy, starting with age 0 up to around 24, I think is where we're gonna try to put our boundary around those age groups. But what we're doing is we are building out our system. So what happens from the time someone is born to the time they are 24, and all of the systems that they interact with, from healthcare to education, housing will be a piece of that, I'm sure. So we're drilling down to the foundation to see if we can figure out where our systems are broken and where we need to solve problems. So I'm not gonna go into the theory around all of that. But just know that we're working on a pretty robust workforce development strategy. We're calling it Work Wired. So you'll hear more about that, and I hope to bring you more updates as that kind of gets framed up. It will take a team effort, all of us. When you're tapped, it'll be your time to go. So be ready, because everyone will have a role in this work. Then, just to back up, our housing study just came back last week. We were able to, of course, housing's been, I'm so happy to see our developers here tonight. Of course, housing has been one of those areas where we have really been running fast in economic development, community development, and working on our population and kind of stabilizing that. Really had a full court press, but the one thing we've missed in all of our work is addressing our housing needs. And I guess we were all hoping that it was just gonna happen organically, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So it's kind of a summary of what our housing study has told us. We are short about 1,000 rental units, and we're short about 1,000 homes. Just to give you an indication, On our rental occupancy, our rates are 0.7% vacancy, 0.7. In a healthy economy, our rental rates, our rental margin would be around 4 to 6%. So we do not have enough available rental units. On the home side, we're around 0.9%. In a healthy community would see 2 to 3%. So we have a pretty significant, I don't want to say crisis and be dramatic, but we're having a housing crisis. So you might say, what does that matter to economic development? But, you know, housing supports our workforce. We have 7,900. Almost half of our workforce is traveling from out of our county to come to work. About half of that 7,900 are traveling more than 50 miles. We were able, through our housing study research, able to survey some of those commuters, some of the 79 that are migrating in from out of Independence County to come to work every day. And 40% of those people said they would buy or rent homes if they were available. So I thought that was encouraging. There's tons of opportunity. Again, this is going to take a big community effort. Next steps with the housing study is we'll need to, of course, visit with our realtors. We need to start bringing our people together, our financial institutions, our insurance, our developers, get this information in their hands. Like I said, I provided you with the summary. I think it's 13 pages. The full report's around 143 pages. If you really want to dig in, I'll be happy to send it to you. But there will be lots of opportunities to engage with the work, dig in, learn more, and have a better understanding of where we need to, what we need to do with housing. Of course, planning and zoning will be part of that conversation as well. So, any questions for me? Do you want to dig into anything while we're here? Any questions for Kathy? Please don't ask me anything hard.
You still have 45 minutes left, Crystal.
Oh.
Well, then, let's do community development next, we'll do education, how about that?
Is this where we get to decide what restaurants we want coming?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, so speaking of that, you also have that report, just to kind of frame up, you might think, why are those retailers on the list? We have a part of our retail strategies agreement is they provided us with all franchises who are expanding in Arkansas and expanding to areas of our size. So we took the list of however many thousand and we tried to prioritize. We've made a list of retailers we want them to talk to first. And you know, we're not getting a ton of interest right now, but we're definitely knocking on their doors. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy, thank you for your service to A&P, and thank you for your passion for or tourism in our state as well as Independence County. Appreciate it. Mr. Damon Johnson, our Public Works Engineer, for a monthly report.
Normally, I would have just kept my mouth shut. But I do have one item of business I need to put before you guys. So, as you know, we've got multiple projects going throughout the city. We actually have a sewer rehab project that is pretty robust, and we bundled into trying to minimize how many times we have to find a contractor and go out to bid and all that. So we bundled with it the utilities for, on the East Main property, there's an industrial site that does not have water and sewer on it. As part of when some companies showed interest in it, we agreed as kind of the city's, you know, we don't have money to give, but what we can offer is, hey, we will get the utilities on this site. And then whoever decides to develop it, you know, we have a local guy who's hopefully maybe gonna use it, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, so as part of that sewer rehab project, and which includes the utilities for that, we have the first GMP where we went out, and it's just for the utility section. We are still working to fine tune the rehab, so I'll bring another GMP to you guys, maybe in one or two council meetings where we bid that work out. But essentially and the GMP is the guaranteed maximum price for this work, and so, we're using the construction manager at risk method instead of just taking the low bidder, which we found to be a productive way to bring a contractor a lot less risk that we're experiencing, and we're able to actually negotiate, the cost of the work instead of just taking the low bidder and hoping that he bid it all right, even if we check it and hope he didn't gamble on something to be the low bidder, and a lot of times they do, and if that gamble doesn't work out, it's been made jobs difficult. So just to give you a little background there, so the guaranteed maximum price to get the utilities onto the East Main property is $2,112,140, and $112,140. So essentially, I recommend we accept this. We went out for bids. We talked to a lot of, so we have our construction manager at risk contractor, and they actually go out and seek subcontractors to bid on this work. We talked to probably 25 contractors. We did not have a lot of bidders, but the bid came in within $100,000 of the engineer's estimate. So we feel very comfortable with the bid, and I'm here to ask your approval to move forward with that contract and to accept this bid, and so we can get that work installed. With that kind of development, it's been really hot or cold out there on that side, and there's been times where I thought, oh no, we're not gonna get this in before they're ready to start construction, and here we are, we're ahead of the game right now. There's no imminent development out there, so hopefully we can get it in before somebody shows up and says, hey, I'm gonna build a factory and I need water tomorrow, which has happened. So anyway, present that to you guys. Feel free to ask questions, whatever, if you're ready. I need
And I may add too, just give you guys, it's right before you come to the north complex. It's on the left. It's the David Bell, Taylor, Dr. Taylor, one of our physicians that we had here that practiced for years. But it's that site right there. And like I said, Damon, we have had interest on it. But like I said, we're just trying to be proactive. And if this company does not pull the trigger on it, we will be ready for the next one. So it is a good piece of property, and it does have rail access on the back side of it as well. So
It's a 19-acre site, is that right?
Roughly, I think.
yeah,
That's about
19,
right.
20 acres, yeah.
What size line are you putting out there?
So we're gonna put a 12-inch line crossing the highway with a 12-inch water line, and then 8-inch sewer, I think. And part of the reason it's $2 million is we have to bore the highway. We have to do 2 highway bores. All the utilities are on the east side of East Main, and of course, bores are very expensive. Sewer bores are very, very expensive because they have to be on grade, and so that's really the bulk of the cost. We did include in this another little nugget, so you know, there's we have a water line down in the industrial area of town below Lawrence Street that we need to connect, and we need to do that. We have to go under a railroad, and we have to bore that as well. And so we actually added that. That's included in this too. It's just a small little section of line we've got line on both sides of the rail, but this will allow us. So there's actually 3 bores in this price, and I think it's a fair price for the work that we're asking to be done. So if y'all are okay with it, I just need.
Need a motion?
Yes.
I make a motion that we move forward with Damon's proposal.
Second.
Motion and second by Mr. Krug. Okay, any other discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
Okay, the other projects continue to move forward. If you've paid any attention, there's some pretty big piping, temporary piping down around, below the dog park and crossing the creek there. Tom is working on relocating a sewer line right there, in preparations for the bigger excavation projects that are gonna start, right after the first of the year. Their dirt contractor is, if Christmas lights weren't there, he'd already be working. He's itching to go to work. I mean, he's talking about starting the very first week of January, even with the Christmas lights in place. So, they're really ready to get to work. I think the Riverside Park renovation plans are in their final development stage. We expect to see something soon on that. We can hopefully bring y'all up to date once we kind of get that, feel like it's in budget and we're comfortable with it. It's not gonna change a lot again. Like I said, on the rest of the work with this project, sewer rehab work, we are trying to fine tune that work. We're trying to do as little replacement as we can and do mostly what we call in situ form, which is where we do a repair in place of the existing line. It's much more cheaper, and it's essentially you have a brand new line. You have to, the line gets a little smaller, and so we're checking all those lines, and the line has to be in good enough shape. We can't be completely collapsed with the existing line. So a lot of work there that we'll see being done next year, and we'll probably bring in more GMPs as we bid that work out and get that ready to go. Operationally, things are running well. Plants are running well. I think we fine-tuned our pressure fluctuation issue at the water plant. Really don't have anything significant to report unless you all have any questions.
Have any questions from the council?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Damon,
Yes.
there's my certificate that I was
Oh,
supposed to bring.
Yeah, so I will.
Look at you.
We'll get that.
Okay.
Clerk's office. And well, before I say bye, Denise sent out an email to all of you guys with the budget, and inside that, there's instructions on the board training. Everyone has to do it except for Fred and Paige. You're supposed to do it within 12 months of coming on the council, or you're supposed to do it by the end of last year, I think, if you've been on the council longer than that. So please, I think we're gonna have to provide that information to ANRD at the end of January. And so we can get that training done. We talked last week, I think there's actually an option, if you follow the instructions, I think you can sign up for a live class, which is online, that Julie participated in. If you go past those, there's another option where I think you can sign up for an internet class, and it gives you a certain amount of time to complete it on your own time. So you don't have to be tied to the computer for 8 hours.
So we waited it out long enough, so they catered to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, so if you follow the instructions, it tells you where to go. We look for and just register, and if possible, we need to get as many of those done by the end of January as possible. Okay.
And I may say it wasn't as pressing as when we had Dr. Matthews. He was,
Right.
and of course,
Tommy.
Mr. Poole here also, so you can
Right.
see how he's messed us up. So we'll take that up later, so.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Damon. Okay, next on the agenda is consider an ordinance for approval of an application for a private club permit for the club on 3rd Street. And just to familiarize yourself with it, I know they've been working on this for a while, the families have.
Yeah.
It's in behind, I'm gonna date myself, because I think it's Edward Jones now, but it used to be the old Skinner's building. It's the rock building right beside that, behind that. So, anyway, would someone like to introduce the ordinance?
I will.
Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion Motion was made by Ms. Hinkle. Okay, we had a second. Okay, motion. Okay, they changed my notes here a little bit. They've got too many notes on here, so I'm gonna have to go back to my. Okay, a motion to read the, by title only. We've already got that motion. We had a motion and we had a second. Okay, cast your votes. I'm trying to find this. Of course, we appreciate Miss Jessica Davis here working with us tonight, and this is her first council meeting, so she's not a stranger to anyone. But Denise decided she was going to make me extra notes so she can get familiar with every council person. So she had the name in here. So anyway, I kind of got lost in the name thing. So all right, motion carried. All right, Mr. Meitzen.
Yes, sir. An ordinance for the approval of an application for private club permit.
Any further discussion? Not, is there a motion to further suspend the rules and waive the second and third readings?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Okay, very good. Please cast your votes. Okay, motion carries. Do we have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Okay, please cast your votes. Okay, Mr. Meissen, would you please read the emergency clause?
Yes, sir. It being necessary to protect and preserve the health, safety, and welfare of the people of the city of Batesville, an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage.
Okay. Do you have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Mr. Roberts, please cast your votes.
Motion carries.
Okay, motion carries. All right, I guess we're just now, is it coming up or did it?
No, it's
Already, okay, so we're good, okay. Next on the agenda is a resolution to waive the competitive bidding for construction of the splash pad by ACS Playground Adventures. We'd visited about this during the budget process, talking about it. This is something that will be in our new playground. So with that being said, would someone like to introduce the resolution? Okay, Mr. Roberts. Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Okay, council, please cast your votes.
Motion carries.
Okay, motion carries. All right, Mr. Meitzen.
Yes, sir. A resolution to waive competitive bidding for construction of splash pad by ACS Playground Adventures.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Not, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Council, please cast your votes. Okay. Mr. McClure, if you want to come forward, so if there is any questions on the next ones that we have coming up. Okay, next on the agenda is consider an ordinance to amend the Batesville zoning district maps. It's called the Greg Ade subdivision. Would someone like to introduce the ordinance?
I will.
Okay, is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Please cast your votes.
Motion carries.
Okay, Mr. Meitzen, would you please read the ordinance by title only?
Yes, sir. An ordinance to amend the Batesville zoning district maps and for other purposes.
Okay, Chad, do you want to give us kind of
Yes, sir. Quick backstory on this. Mr. Ade worked with our staff, our planning and zoning commission for the last several months and resulted in this proposal. We've actually taken a lot split. He's created a two-lot subdivision in order to proceed forward with the zoning. Our regulations will not allow a split zone, so he's had to create 2 lots. And if you're familiar where North Park is, he owns the property from White Drive south into the subdivision, and he's proposing to rezone 1 acre on the North Park on the south side of the 1.7 acre tract. And the rest is all C1, and he's requesting for 1 acre to go to R2.
Okay, any discussion from the council? Any more? Not, is there a motion to further suspend the rules and waive the second and third readings?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, council, please cast your votes. Okay. Okay, is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second. Okay, council, please cast your votes. Okay, next on the agenda is to consider an ordinance to amend the Batesville zoning district's map, top Main Street flats. Would someone like to introduce the ordinance? Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Okay, please cast your votes. Okay, motion carries. Okay, Mr. Meitzen.
Sir, an ordinance to amend the Batesville zoning district maps and for other purposes.
Okay, Chad, you want to kind of give us an overrun of this one as well?
Yes, this is located on the property on Main Street, which is known as the old Independence Inn campus. And the Prouts, they brought to us a proposal. We've been working with our staff and our team, and then also our planning and zoning commission for the last several months. And this project, similar to Mr. A's, in order to make a split zone, required some subdividing of the property, which they've taken care of and recorded. So what this proposal will do will leave the old restaurant that's there on site commercial, and it's also created lots where from, like Mr. A, from C1 to R2 for some multifamily uses.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there a motion to further suspend the rules and waive the second and third readings?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Okay, council, please cast your votes. Okay. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Okay, council. Cast your votes. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is an executive session to consider the actually, let me see where my notes were here. Let's see. Okay, reappointments to Historic District Commission. And at this time, do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, we're in the executive session.
Every morning begins with progress. Finding the new jobs and opportunities that keep the city and its residents moving forward. And we're leading the charge. Negotiating with potential businesses or building streets to their new facilities. A better life starts in the city limits. Arkansas's municipal communities improve our quality of life every day. This moment brought to you by your hometown. Great cities make a great state.
Appointments for the Historic District Commission, and Mr. Fredericks.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Mr. David Thompson, Mr. Ron Autry, and Ms. Mayfin Thomas to their terms for the Historic District 3-year term.
Okay. We have a motion. Have a motion to second from Mr. Roberts. Any discussion? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's see where I'm at here. Okay, next on the agenda is an ordinance to adopt the 2025 budget, and greatly appreciate everyone's.
Skip those other ones? Am I missing?
Resolution.
Did we skip those?
Oh, yeah, there you go, Because I apologize because I was not in today, and I usually review this, but I've been off a couple of days and rolled in, and Denise said, here's your notes, so good luck. Okay. All right, okay, next on the agenda is to consider a resolution to declare a vacancy in the office of city clerk. Would someone like to introduce the resolution?
I will.
Second.
Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Please cast your votes. Okay, Mr. Meitzen?
Yes, sir. A resolution to declare a vacancy in the office of city clerk treasurer for the city of Batesville, Arkansas for other purposes.
Any further discussion? Not, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Second.
Okay, council, please cast your votes. Okay, next on the agenda is to consider a resolution to fill the vacancy in the office of city clerk. Would someone like to introduce the resolution?
I will.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Please cast your votes. Okay, Mr. Meitzen?
Sir, a resolution to fill a vacancy in the office of city clerk / treasurer of the city of Batesville, Arkansas, and for other purposes.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Motion second. Please cast your votes, council. Okay. All right, so we'll be moving forward with that. Next on the agenda is consider an ordinance to adopt the 2025 budgets. Would someone like to introduce the ordinance?
I will.
Second.
Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second. Please cast your votes.
Motion carries.
Okay, motion carries. Please cast your votes. You already have. Mr. Meitzen?
Yes, sir. An ordinance providing for the adopting for the city of Batesville, Arkansas, a budget for the 12 months beginning January 1st, 2025, appropriating money for each and every department within the city of Batesville for expenditures therein provided, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Is there any further discussion? Not, is there a motion to further suspend the rules and waive the second and third readings?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, please cast your votes.
Motion carries.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Please cast your votes. Okay. All right, next agenda item is, and I'll say thank you to the team that worked on that. No city council, we did have.
I was gonna say, Mayor, you might, I think there was an emergency clause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll read that real quick.
Oh, do you have an emergency clause on
On
yours?
the back of that budget, it has it.
Okay,
Section 6.
Yeah, it says that.
Yeah.
okay.
I can just read it real quick. And
Yeah,
then-
please, yes.
It is hereby declared that an emergency exists and that this ordinance, being in the best interest of the public and its welfare, shall be effective from and after the date of its passage.
Okay.
I snuck that one in there.
All right.
It's just numbered like a raven.
Okay, so we need a motion, I guess.
So moved.
A motion, and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys. Anyway, now, thank you for the committee that worked on this. Jessica, Kim, and Denise, of course, and Mr. Damon Johnson. So greatly appreciate it. Budgets are,
Hey, everyone finished voting out on that, if you
Yeah.
would, so we can.
please do.
There we go. Okay.
All right, we're good now.
Yep,
All
that's
right,
it all.
very good. All right, let's move to financials. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know, myself, or Jessica, or Denise. And let's move right into mayor comments. And the first thing I want to do is our next meeting in January. Look at your calendars. I'll let you guys off for Christmas. Let's see, I'm looking to see, because I know there's some, we've got the league in December.
It's
So,
in January.
you know, when it, I mean, January, that's right. What do you,
This is league.
this is league right here, so the second, yeah, that would be the second Tuesday, and I think, when is the league? When does it start?
The 15th, 16th.
Okay, all right, I'm supposed to go down to 14. Would anyone have a problem with having that on the Monday, the 13th, or does that interfere with anyone? You would not be able, okay, all right. Let's go ahead and leave it on the 14th. I know I have I may have to go that evening, but that wouldn't be a problem. So that would be the second Tuesday anyway. So it would be the 14th, and then we would have the second one would be the 28th. So let's just leave it there. There may be some changes, but if so, I'll put that out. Okay, I'm going to move over to the mic. Nick, is this mic, is it live or? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, at this time, I would like Mr. Chris Poole to come forward. Chris, how many years?
14 years.
14 years. And you know, the thing about when you are a city councilman, you also create friendships. And this is tough. This is tough for Chris to leave. He has been what an asset. I don't think I have to tell any of the council. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a report on our parks director here in a few minutes, but I had the opportunity to visit with him. He said, this is Chris's last city council meeting. I said, it sure is. He said, well, he said, I love my mayor, but if I had to work under anyone else, I wish it would be Chris Poole. So that's the ultimate compliment, I would say. So, Chris, we appreciate everything you have done. It's been a good ride, 14 years. So you've been here 14 of my 18 years, so that was good. I can still remember, I called Chris and I asked him, would you be interested in serving on the city council? That's 14 years and a month ago, I guess. And Chris said absolutely, he'd be honored. And like I said, he has done a wonderful job. It's always, when you have somebody like Chris Poole, it's always good to bounce it off from Chris. And he always would just not come up with it, but he would analyze it and he would put it back to you. That makes sense. So thank you, Chris, for your insight, your knowledge of city government, and your desire to serve. And I would like to say, and I tried to get your wife to come, but she doesn't think this was a big deal. You know, I appreciate her allowing family allowing Chris to be able to serve. Because each and every one of you know, this takes a little time away from your family. But Chris, you're appreciated a bunch. And the city of Batesville presented to Mr. Chris Poole in grateful appreciation for your faithful, dedicated service as City of Batesville Council member, January the 1st, 2010, December 31st, 2024. And on behalf of myself and the City Council, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. And before you give us a speech, I'm also, if I have a city councilman that has served at least 10 years or more, I think it's that we have to present the key to the city. And Chris is not moving very far, but he's moving outside the district. We're not going to give anybody your address right now. But we greatly appreciate you, and we feel like that, and I feel like this is something that comes from the heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just say that it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with y'all, serve with you, and with others who've come before, like David Chetron, Tommy Bryant, Doug Matthews, Chris Beller, many others. We've done a lot of good things over those years, a lot of good things, and we've moved Batesville forward. I've got no doubt that this mayor and this council can continue with that progress, and these city employees and many others who are out there can continue that progress and do even bigger and better things, which are right on the horizon. So that is really something to look forward to. Just glad I was able to have a small part of it for a few years. So thank you.
Okay, we've got those, the next meeting's in January. Liaison reports. Do we have any? If not, Jessica, if you will call the roll for council comments.
Ms. Bennett?
None.
Mr. Fredericks?
Yeah, just one, myself and my fellow ward cohort here, Mr. Reeves, got an email from a concerned citizen about to know if the city of Batesville had an ordinance specifically addressing a dog being tethered in a truck bed. She said she had witnessed this, truck speeding around town, dog tied up in the back of a flatbed truck. I don't know if we have anything specific to that. I know we do have some ordinance that does mention tethering, but nothing specifically in a truck bed. And maybe that could be something we could look into. She does say that is the occurrence in other towns where they do have an ordinance, and specifically in regards to that. So
Okay.
just something to bring to our attention.
It might fall under
Maybe.
animal cruelty too, from a state law perspective.
Okay. All
That
right.
might be enforced that way. Of course, that'd be up to the interpretation of Judge Taylor.
Okay.
Scott,
think
we
that's all.
have an ordinance that says a dog cannot be on a leash or tethered. It doesn't, in the city limits, it doesn't specify where. It just says anywhere. So that would, to me, include the back of a truck in the city limits. That's just the way I see it.
I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
Is
I
this
haven't
something
looked at it in a
So-
while.
Is this something the police enforce?
Or the animal control.
Animal control.
But the police could too.
Okay, all right, we'll definitely check into that.
Okay.
I'll visit with our officer and also have him to consult with Mr. Mipson and see if there's something that could be actually done. I know.
Okay. And maybe just, like a response that I
Yeah.
could give this citizen. as well.
Absolutely,
That'd be great.
yeah.
Okay.
We can check on, and like you said, it may be something that we already have on the ordinance, but anyway, so Tim, you've got the information, so if you would, please check on that.
Yes, sir.
We'll move forward, okay?
Ms. Hinkle? None. Mr. Krug?
None.
Mr. Poole?
None.
Mr. Reeves?
None.
Mr. Roberts?
Okay, there being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Oh, sorry. My bad.
What?
You gonna make that motion?
Oh, so moved.
Yeah.
Now you go for the second.
Second.
Have motion and a second, and all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. And thanks to Jennifer and Donna and whoever the team was that put up the Christmas tree and the decorations, thank you. Also, there's a DUI court graduation at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Like I told Mr. Winston also, that in their funding, I know they had requested around $6,000, and unless I overlooked it, but I'm almost positive that is in there. So anyway, glad to support you in your program.
This concludes our meeting tonight. The mayor and city council thanks you for tuning into the meeting. Our air times are Monday 7 p.m., Thursday 6 p.m., Friday 11:30 a.m., and all other days 4 p.m. Again, our city council says thank you and good night.